speaking for myself, I have never thought of Donald Trump as a conservative. My whole life, I've known him. I know him socially, play golf with him now and then. I can reach him on the phone if I want to. But I've never considered him a conservative. And I've never considered him a liberal. Don't misunderstand. But as far as a movement conservative, Trump hasn't been. I've never been under the impression that he is. And I've never held it against him. And I've never felt like, well, he's not worthy of speaking on things I believe in because he's not a conservative. That's not my attitude. I know he's not a liberal. I know that he's nowhere near what modern-day liberalism is. What I also believe fervently is that all of this support for Trump, this movement, whatever you call this that's happening with Trump, it's not about conservatism. And that doesn't bother me. But some in the conservative movement are pulling their hair out over this. And like I mentioned, Bret Stephens writing in the Wall Street Journal, this piece, it is just vicious to conservatives. I mean, it's just over the top vicious. It stands alone in that regard, but there are others in the conservative movement who are also writing pieces, admonishing people supporting Trump that he's not conservative. You're being fooled. You're destroying conservatism by allowing Trump to carry the mantle of conservatism. And I've never seen or been of the opinion that that's what Trump is about, is conservatism. And the paranoia that he is about that, and some of these conservative intellectuals who are having a big problem with this writing about it, I think are missing what this is all about. Now, why they're missing is a whole other bunch of theories. Now, I had the Bret Stephens thing right here. I wanted to quote from it, and I thought I had it in the Trump stack, in fact. And I must have put it somewhere. I can't do. Is this it? Yeah, here it is. The Donald and the Demagogues. If by now you don't find Donald Trump appalling, you are appalling. That's how this piece opens. If you have reached physical maturity and still chuckle at Trump's pubescent jokes about Rosie O'Donnell or Heidi Klum, you will never reach mental maturity. If you watched Mr. Trump mock fellow candidate Lindsey Graham's low poll numbers and didn't cringe at the back of class, you are incapable of class. If you think we need to build new airports in Queens the way they build them in Qatar, you should be sent to join the millions of forced laborers who do construction in the Persian Gulf. It would serve you right. That's just the first paragraph. Since Mr. Trump joined a GOP presidential field and leaped to the top of the polls, several views have been offered to explain his popularity. He conveys a can-do image. He is the bluntest of the candidates in addressing public fears of cultural and economic dislocation. He toes no line. He serves no pack. He abides no ideology. He is beholden to no man. He addresses the broad disgust of everyday Americans with their failed political establishment. And so forth and so on. A parade of semi-sophisticated theories that act as bathroom deodorizer to mask the stench of the Trump candidacy. Mr. Trump is a loudmouth vulgarian, appealing to quieter vulgarians. These vulgarians comprise a significant percentage of the GOP base. The leader isn't the problem, the people are. It takes the demos to make the demagogue. Well, this is the perfect illustration of the problem that so-called conservative intellectuals are having with the Trump insurgency or the Trump campaign, to the point now that they feel it necessary to insult the people supporting Trump in addition to insulting Trump. Now, these are the people who routinely tell us that we are racists or nativists or whatever because we do not believe in their policy of open borders and because we are intolerant of this invasion of people, which they call illegal immigration, which we term an invasion. Since we're not tolerant, we're not sophisticated, we don't have the ability to understand what this country is all about and what this country needs for a vibrant future and so forth. And it's one of the biggest disconnects I've ever seen in my life between Washington and the rest of the people in the country. Now, explaining the Trump phenomenon, not that difficult. At the top of all of it is this invasion. At the top of the list of reasons why Trump has a large and growing following is it's all about immigration and how the establishment inside the Beltway is now openly, not even disguising, what they've thought about average, ordinary Americans for years now. And that is unsophisticated, rubes, uneducated. I mean, take any insult that you want. Appalling, stupid, you name it. Look, I hate to interrupt myself, as you can imagine, but I have to because of the clock here, so we'll be back. Back we are, Rush Limbaugh here on the cutting edge of societal evolution. Look, I'm having trouble explaining here what I actually mean. It's not that I'm afraid to say anything. I'm just trying to structure this right. This disconnect. The problem, I think, with all of these, the conservative literary people at the magazines and websites and the columns and so forth who are writing so disparagingly of Trump and of his supporters and followers, how best to say that? Well, they're establishment people. Yeah, I know that. And what they're actually trying to do is engender support for the party at the end of the day here. And anything that doesn't do that is considered damaging and threatening because conservatism doesn't run for office. The Republicans do. And these people are all devoted to the Republicans winning because that puts everybody on the winning side inside the Beltway, keeps the ruling class together, gives them their power and so forth. But to me, it's deeper than that. Because many of the people that are complaining in their writing and in their columns and in their blog posts and so forth, I'm not trying to offend them. All they do is write. They comment and that's it. As though that's an achievement.